trying to look at this, slamming down. It's really difficult to pick out where the bad waves are going to be. Look at Hog's Breath now. They've got the added incentive of being kind of the hometown heroes, so you can bet they've got the hammer well and truly down.
There's a good look at the boat. Keith Herbott, Lee Murray, and Steve Oropeza aboard Hog's Breath, and here's Team Virgin giving chase.
And just listen, look at that. There again, you see the visibility goes away so quickly here. It makes it so frightening because you don't know where the dangerous waves are.
You can see Team Virgin, that yellow and blue boat at the top of your screen. They were mired in the pack, and they got on the gas to try to pull out. That's Utz Quality Foods trying to come with them, the other yellow boat.
Extra clean on board right now.
That's the F-278 boat.
And they are flying across the waves. This is something. Now, just pay attention. As we're watching F-280 right now, watch the attitudes of these boats. It is dramatic when you get rough water differences like this. Look at this boat leaving the water, and then we're going to go back in just a moment here up to Team Virgin and watch the way the national champion is handling this rough water. It really looks so good.
Now, that's a 33-foot Wellcraft Scarab that you're watching there. That was the Herbott Hog's Breath boat, and there's Team Virgin running with them, the yellow boat that you were talking about. Here's their onboard. Now they're coming after him to take over the lead here.
Yeah, and look right at the bottom of the picture. You can see Trace Martin's hand on the throttles. He is working real hard. See Trace just hold up his hand right there. He is waving to them. There's a little bit of signaling going back and forth. And listen to the sound.
Every time those props come out of the water, you got to throttle back. Oh, and one boat had some problems. Dave Black and Steve Henshaw, F210 Team Extreme Sensation. Fortunately, they were okay. Todd Glenworth and Trace Martin, no problems for them on this day, even though the water was very tough. As you can see them coming up and passing the Utz Quality Foods boat, a boat that gave them a lot of competition over the course of the season.
That is one of the boats they were actually worried about. Now here is second place. This is one of those formula boats, again, the boats that have run so well all season long, but just cannot challenge that Team Virgin boat. There are the happy victors today.
The Big Cigarette taking the win here on Wednesday, the opening day of the APBA UIM World Championships. And Team Hog's Breath comes home 11th. Big frustration for them. Here's a look at the wrap-up of race number 1. Team Virgin over Let's Play Racing and Speedware, R&S Racing. We'll be back with more right after this. Speed Vision coverage of the APBA Offshore Baja Pro Series is brought to you by Baja Marine Corporation. Baja, speed changes you. By Racing Electronics, the official communications provider to the APBA. By Snap-on Tools, the official tool of APBA Offshore. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser with a clean, crisp, refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. Welcome back to Key West, Florida, the APBA UIM Offshore World Championships. Now we're going to get up to today's race for Factory 2. You've already seen the highlights from 2 weeks ago. Now it's time to go racing for the World Championship. Team Virgin leads the points, but with flat water, they're now worried about the flat-bottom boats.
Well, it's an advantage for flat that they have inherently in the way the boat is built. Different than NASCAR, where you can have a different car for different type of track. We have the same boat for all conditions. And our track, of course, is always changing. So the flat-bottom boats will run really fast in the flat water. And we hope we can keep up with them and keep it competitive. We have a little bit of a margin of error from our win in the last race on Wednesday.
You know, when you come to Key West to race, you have to have a lot of patience. All the years I've been racing here, when you race here, there's a lot of attrition, so you got to be very patient. And I kind of knew the water conditions were going to get worse, so we winged our setup in the beginning. We didn't have much test time, so I went ahead and prepared the boat more for rough water, so it was good that we did that.
Now these boats, V-bottom boats, 30 to 39 feet in length with a pair of 502 cubic inch motors, either the Mercruiser HP 500s or the 500 EFI motors. It's their choice.
Now, the way you win a world championship is by racing twice in each class. He who scores the most points, as we listen to the green flag.
Green flag.
He who scores the most points over the 2 races will be crowned the world champion. If there's a tie by points, aggregate time would decide the winner.
Yeah, once more on board, you just see spray on the lens right there. That is just from the melee at the start of the race. That's not rain because it's just a gorgeous day here to run. But the visibility is always so difficult here off the starts, and they have to take such care because the boats are all bound up together.
On board, the Team Virgin cigarette, the Volvo Penta onboard camera.
And you see already there's a massive difference from what we watched on the Wednesday race a couple of weeks ago.
Here's your race leader, F255 Speedwear, James Sparrows and Todd Welling. But where are they going?
Well, he is going to be a short-lived leader because you can see he is going a long way off course. The entire fleet has turned and is going down there. He simply is lost.
And as fast as these boats are going, it's going to be a long ways before you're able to make that ground up.
It's going to be impossible. I think he has effectively taken himself right out of the hunt. Now, right there in the third place, you can just see that is Team Virgin kind of holding ground. I believe it is Hog's Breath up front. He is going out wide, trying to stay in his own water. He wants to run a clean line. But, of course, now he has to pay the penalty of losing ground. Look at this. You see the other boats. He is going all the way back to fourth, maybe even fifth place here. You see the other boats going around the inside of him.
There's your second and third place boat right there battling it out. Let's Play is the white boat,
yeah,
and Twisted Sticks, the yellow one on the inside.
And Twisted Sticks almost hit that marker there. They really cut a very fine line. But, you know, one of the things that has impressed me all season long with Virgin, as he comes right in the middle, he's trying to split them. Virgin really has shown remarkable patience in so many different areas. This is a team that they are so polished together, they don't panic. They just settle down and do the right job. Boy, again, the pounding, even under conditions like today, which is a lot better than that Wednesday race, it still hurts.
And look who's right back in the middle of it. That second white boat, F255. That's Speedwear, the early race leader that went off course. And, Bill, they've made it all up in half a lap.
That is exactly what the Virgin guys talked about, the speed of the flat bottom boat. When these boats have a pad on the keel, under proper conditions, they can be just brutally quick. And he has come back up here into contention.
Here's the race leader, Herbot Hog's Breath, but look at the boats coming after him. That F255 is going to be the boat to keep your eyes on. Here's second and third, and there goes F255 right there, the Speedwear boat. I'm telling you, James Sparrows and Todd Welling are just putting on a clinic as they blast around the outside of Twisted Sticks.
And now, again, you might wonder, why go around the outside? Why take the long way around? Simply, he did not lose very much momentum, and this boat runs such a high top speed, it would benefit him to keep at a higher speed, even though he's running a longer lap.
Well, the party might be at Sloppy Joe's later tonight, but it might be at the Hog's Breath since their boat's leading. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Key West, Florida. You can't get any farther south in the United States than this spot right here, and it's only a 90-mile backstroke to Cuba.
I didn't know you could swim that far, Ralph.
Certainly not with a backstroke. Herbot Hog's Breath still out front, leading Factory 2 in their F280 boat. They were up front on Wednesday, ended up finishing 11th. They might be able to rebound and get the win, but these guys have something to say about it right here.
Look at this. I think Hog's Breath right now really need to invest in a rearview mirror because this boat is screaming up on them. The speed that they have shown has been really impressive, but again, keep in mind, Virgin won on Wednesday. Now, they are currently up into third place, which really is in a good spot. They're directly behind their chief competition, the number 55 Speedwear boat. And even if Speedwear go on to win, if Virgin go up to second, that would give them a first and a second as opposed to a first and a third for Speedwear.
Well, Robert and Teresa Eubanks in Twisted Sticks giving them a pretty good run. That boat finished third in the APBA National Championship, and normally we would see Teresa here in her own boat, but due to the 2-week delay, she's just racing with her hubby this weekend.
All right, here we go for the lead. This is the battle right here, and look at Speedwear again showing this speed. This boat just blazes.
This big 38-footer is flying.
Oh, boy, this is one of the most impressive performances of the year, and here is Team Virgin. They are still having that battle with Twisted Sticks out there.
And back to the battle for the lead. And the Hog's Breath boat is running pretty good, though, Bill. I mean, yeah, they got caught, but they're not going away in a hurry.
Now, I'm a huge believer in added incentive, and I think the fact that they are running for their hometown fans, the Hog's Breath Salute, who knows, maybe they're going to get free drinks tonight. That's enough to make them race hard.
We can help that. And here we go with two great side-by-side battles inside the top 5. And I think this is a good indicator of why the APBA is having such a great season of offshore racing this year.
Without question, the best ever. Team Virgin, again, they are continuing their battle. Looks like they pulled out a little bit of a lead, but you see, they really are not able to get back up and challenge the Speedware boat today. The flatter water really is setting up well for Speedware. Todd and Trace are trying very, very hard, but I think they know all they have to do is get that second place to concrete things out for them.
And look at these guys cheering themselves
Wow.
on. The Speedware boat F255. Boy, they're really having a great day.
Just a quick look back to see how big of a lead they've got.
Oh, and Pipe Dream is out, F234. The attrition starting to play its role here in this World Championship. And Speedware continuing to lead, not a problem for them.
No, they look like they're running really, really well. You see the boat has a really nice attitude, sits well in the water, it's turning well. And Team Virgin now is up to second place because there we go. Now another problem for Hog's Breath. They did run into problems on the Wednesday race coming 11th. I guess the bad luck is holding for them.
Well, now if Team Virgin can hold on to second, not only will they be the Factory 2 national champions in the APBA, they will be the APBA UIM World Champions as well for the year 2001.
Well, and again, I think they win our personal championship for having the prettiest boat. Because, boy, that thing is just gorgeous. Third place now, just up here running, one of the Formula boats.
Having a solid run, and you can see how far back the rest of the competition is. There's Teresa and Robert Eubanks and Twisted Sticks running back and forth. And Let's Play Racing, Patrick Dunn and Jeff Cresciano running along in 5th. Now Let's Play Racing in F2-4 finished 4th in the national championship. Had a couple of strong races at the back end of the season. Here's Howard Richardson and Jack Storrell. They're in 6th place in the RNS racing boat. They had a pretty good run on Wednesday as well, so that could help them out. That's F2-19. And our friends from the Great White North, Wilma and Brian Ross, who always get the Long Tow Award. The Snap-on boats had a great season. Looks like they're going to have a good World Championship as well.
And that looks like a pretty relaxed race winner like there. One hand out the side of the boat coming down the channel. What a day for them.
And Team Virgin's going to finish 2nd, and they're going to cruise to a World Championship to go along with the recently earned APBA National Championship. What a year for Todd Clinworth and Trace Martin. Team Virgin absolutely dominating Factory 2 for 2001. Well, the Factory 2 World Championship is done, but we've got a lot of racing to go. We'll be back for more at the end of Duval Street right after this. Well, it's easy to see why everybody looks forward to the World Championships coming to Key West. There's not a better place to watch some awesome APBA offshore racing from than right here in Key West, Florida. Here are the results from race number 2. Speedware the winners, but Team Virgin takes 2nd and the World Championship to go along with a recently earned national title.
Well, as I've said all season, Cigarette is a rough water boat. It was rough. And between having Trace, the best rough water throttleman around, and the Cigarette boat, pretty unstoppable when it gets rough like that.
Here's a look at the final standings for Factory 2 in the World Championships. By 10 points, Team Virgin takes the world title over Speedware. Let's Play Racing, RNS Racing, and Talisman Racing all round out the top 5. Let's take a look at the Outlaw World Champions now. In Outlaw A, Jim McCulloch and Pat Sullivan were the winners on Sunday, but they would not claim the World Championship because the Wednesday winner in A81, who finished 5th in the National Championships, had a great run over the 2 days. They were 1st on Wednesday and 2nd on Sunday. They would take the World Championship in their Velocity boat. Moving on now to Outlaw B. This is Outlaw B1. Jeff Haylett and Jeff Delk in the Yardarm boat. They only scored points in Fort Myers, Florida on the national tour, but here the World Championships were a whole different story as they claimed the title. In Outlaw V, Boat 23, Jeff Lewis and Josh Stein, H2O Performance, took the title, Bill.
And I think one of the attractive things of the APB Offshore Series is that you can come out and run any size of boat. These fellas hadn't run much before. They come out and beat 3 other good competitors, and boy, they're happy today.
In P2 is boat 24, Rob Bocchino and Ryan Beckley, the Kinetic/JEM team taking the title.
Now these little boats, boy, do they pound the drivers, but you can see they are not willing to back off at all. They really hit a lot harder. Great competition.
In P3, it was the experimental boat Vortec of Gary DeCisius and Steve Miklos, second in the national championships and second at the Worlds, Bill. Lots of great things happening here.
There is a really exciting thing that's going to be coming up, and we'll tell you more about this. But yes, they have had a wonderful year with that boat.
But the World Championship went to David Forath and Anthony Perry in their cigarette known as Dirty Cash. They were second in the national championships, but they're the world champs, and our Bill Adams spoke with them after the event.
Earlier this year, we talked about how beautiful the boat looked. Well, today it's got to look extra beautiful for you guys.
Oh, I love the boat. Me and him were kissing it on the way in. We were really happy with the performance. We had a little problem in St. Pete. We blew a motor, took a fifth, but we came here determined to win.
This is really the best place to do it, isn't it? World Championships and just the glamour of Key West.
Well, the sun helps a little bit, too, because of the weather. But, yeah, down here, the water is just excellent. The people are very nice to us, and the competition is always good.
In P4, it was boat number 7. This is one of the bat boats, but it's an open-top boat. Finished fourth in the national championships, had 2 wins, but they came and took the world title. Do you think that bat logo helped them out?
Well, that was certainly a big surprise, and this is really a bit of a design change, cutting the roof off.
This is a boat we told you a little bit about in our Key West preview show, and it ended up winning a world championship with Mike Graham and Steve Gossett driving.
Yeah, so unusual to get a brand new boat coming out and dominating like this Baja did. This is a very exciting boat.
This Vortec Baja combination is really going to be something in the future of APBA. And in the Outlaw experimental class, well, this boat here, driven by David Scott and John Tomlinson, it's sponsored by the official beer of the APBA UIM World Championships, Budweiser, and now PX36, Bill, it's not only a world champion, but it's the official fastest boat in the world.
It really is. They took this boat up to Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, and ran 188 miles an hour. That's aircraft speed. John Tomlinson quickly establishing his reputation as perhaps the finest engineer in the history of offshore boating.
And congratulations to all the 2001 Outlaw Performance Class World Champions. Time now for our GM Vortec Offshore View, and we already showed you this boat winning a world championship. And we told you in our preview show, this combination between Vortec and Baja is really going to be something to keep your eyes on. Well, we've got a brand new APBA class for you. It's going to be called Super V Light, Twin, and Single. Kind of like factory classes on steroids. The boats will have sealed engines, either the Vortec 8100 or the Mercury HP 500, and they'll run a canopied boat just like the one you see here on the screen. Now, a lot of the manufacturers are excited about this class because of the possibility of extremely close competition.
We're excited about some of the new thoughts they have with maybe the new canopied class and some new engines. I think we're going to see some new marine technology come from that. It's a little bit different for us. We don't build canopied special boats, so we're going to probably partner with someone to do that. But I think we're going to see some exciting things in the sport.
Well, just another indication of how APBA is quickly becoming the leader in offshore racing with a huge commitment from General Motors. And listen to this. Some of the top teams from Super V Light are already committed, and you'll hear it here first. Nigel Hook is going racing in this class with Vortec and Wellcraft. We'll be right back. Coverage of the APBA Baja Pro Series is brought to you by Beechwood H Budweiser with a clean, crisp, refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. Welcome back to the APBA UIM Offshore World Championships from Key West, Florida. Ralph Shaheen alongside Bill Adam. The Factory One boats are making their way out to go racing for their World Championship. Let's go back to 2 weeks ago and take a look at the highlights from race number 1 in Factory 1.
2, 1, green flag.
And you can see right there, they had a huge field take the green flag here. Look at how close, how tight this competition is right here. There was a lot of rough water back then, and these fellas took a major pounding.
On board with the Volvo Penta onboard camera, you can just see the pounding that these boats and teams were taking. And Bill, no room for error when you're all racing that close together.
No, this is a day that really makes you want to back off the throttles. Everything just tells you, oh, look at the black, almost up on the side.
Pantera Racing, Ernie Arias and Joe Nunez. The black boat with the cat eyes on the side really getting close to the ragged edge.
And look at the amount of air under the hulls. These things are flying about as high as we have seen all year long.
It was even worse for Pantera Racing as they almost submarined their F-171.
They came so close coming back down to the channel in towards here, hit that rogue wave, the one that always worries the competitor, another boat.
And the green and yellow boat on the right is your national champion. But here's your race leader, David Ream and Richard Hartman, the American Racing Custom Wheels F-111 out of the West Coast. Boy, they really had a good run. Not really bothered, it didn't seem at this point, by the rough water.
Nah, this is a day when really you just want to try and take it as easy as possible because the rate of attrition through breakage is fierce in the water like this. It's tough on the hulls, it's tough on drives and propellers, and particularly the driver and throttle man. When you finish a race like this, you know you've been out there working.
And you can see the national champions right there, the green and yellow activator. It's a 26-foot activator. B.J. Marr and Mark Schneff did not back off at all as they come up the inside to take the lead.
You can see again, side by side coming down the channel, American Racing right beside Activator. They did not get any further apart than what you see right here. This was one of the best battles of the entire season.
The American Racing Custom Wheels boat out of Southern California, David Ream from Placentia, Richard Hartman from Riverside, really giving the national champs a run for their money.
You know, when something like this happens, too, it's actually fun for both boats. You can gauge your performance by watching your competition. You can see, do you have to push harder? And, of course, who wants to come second? You're always going to get harder on the throttle.
And here they come down to the finish line, and the national champs take the win. But the guys from California putting their hands up, knowing that was a great battle. They enjoyed the competition, and these two would square off again before the World Championships were over. Chesapeake and Activator one step closer to a world title. Bill standing by with the winners in victory lane.
This is all water. We took the boat out for a ride this morning, and he looked at me, he said, "You feel as good as I do?" I said, "I feel real good. I'll feel better after we get one lap under our belt." But boy, that was tough competition. You know, when you get a boat like that you can't just leave, you know, you got to run a perfect race. You make one mistake, it's over. You know, you won't recover from that.
How close was it at the end? Were you looking?
I couldn't even tell how. It was inches to me. We had no idea who won.
We just wrung it out as best we could, so that's what it was. And we had a nice little duel out there where the fans couldn't see. I tell you what, we were like this the whole time, maybe 2 feet apart for a while. That was really cool. And we kind of looking at each other like, get out of my way.
Well, they're one step closer to the World Championship, and they're probably going to need some thrust to get it done. Stay with us. The APBA UIM Offshore World Championships have provided us with some great offshore racing action. If you like this, check this out. APBA Offshore Television presents the 2001 Offshore Collection. From Fort Myers to the season-closing Key West World Championships, all the action from the world's most extreme form of racing can be yours. Single tapes just $22.95, or get the complete 8-race package from Fort Myers to Key West for just $154.95. Call 1-800-VIP-FIVE or send check or money order to the address listed. That's 1-800-VIP-FIVE. Well, the Factory 1 boats are now lining up for race number 2. Here's a look at the lineup, and the battle, of course, is going to be between Chesapeake and Activator and the American Racing Custom Wheels boat. It should be an awesome fight, Bill.
This is kind of fun for both of them because they can look back at the Wednesday race and they just had so much fun they get to look forward to it all over again. These are V-bottom boats between 24 and 29 feet length. A single engine. Now, again, they get the choice of either a Mercruiser HP 500 or the 500 EFI.
And here they come to the line, getting ready to get this race underway. And the water is going to be a lot different than what they saw 2 weeks ago. We'll see if it gives either one of the boats an edge as we get set to go racing for the World Championship in Factory 1.
Green flag. Green, green, green. On your mark. Way over there.
Full Tilt Racing on board with them.
On your mark. I got the mark, but we're in trouble. For what? Well, we're going to get squeezed. We're getting from this Pantera.
Pantera is a black boat with the cat's eyes on the side. There he is, just to your left. They thought they were going to get squeezed, but they slipped through there, Bill.
They carried a really nice burst of speed. That was impressive. They were staying so aware of all of the boats around them. That was very heads-up driving on their part.
That's the yellow boat right in the middle of that pack.
You see a little bit of chine walking going, but really not bad.
Slow it down.
Right past the National Champs Activator on your left.
And look at Activator. You see them turning on the inside. Have to go around that marker.
Activator's on our inside. Okay.
Trying to find a good line through all that rough water and all those boats. You can see Activator right on him back in third, actually fourth. There is the American Racing Custom Wheels boat up to second.
Damn. Low flying aircraft.
That's the big seagull they were talking about. Pelican, actually.
The world's fastest Pelican right there. And there is one of the low-flying aircraft right there.
American Racing Custom Wheels takes the lead, which would put them in great shot for the World Championship.
Activator's right on my corner. Okay. I'll give him a little room.
That's good. You hear him saying he's going to give them some room. They're racing hard, and yet they still respect the safety.
Keep an eye on him. Watch these waves. Keep an eye on. Where's he at? He's right here. Okay, I got him.
That's good. There is a lot of pressure right now on Activator. They have to try and get back up and challenge American Racing. There they go.
There he comes. Okay. I'm just going to let him go. There him go.
Well, we have a report a boat is flipped. That could change this race dramatically because that would slow everybody down.
Well, and that may be something that Activator liked because that will allow them to close right up on the leader.
Well, we're hearing now it's Alehouse 23 that is flipped. Here's the 77 boat. They apparently have stopped to make sure the Alehouse guys are okay. Oh, there you can see him in the background in the water. 77 is Viper Marine. That's Curtis Watkins and Christopher Wickstrom checking out their... Watch the boat on your left here now in the circle.
Look at this. Up, 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 and then hard back down.
Oh, and then it comes up again. Wow, what a ride. Alehouse is Craig Edwards and Bob Christie in a 26-foot Wellcraft Scarab. Unfortunately, they're okay, but the caution flag is out. What a battle it's been so far in Factory 1, and you're going to want to be at the top of the Lighthouse Museum because from there you can see the entire island of Key West. Stay with us. We're coming back for more right after this. President Harry S. Truman loved spending so much time here in Key West, they named this facility the Little White House. Well, you know, we're under yellow right now here in Key West, Florida, but thanks to Captain Larry Cotton, commander of the Key West Naval Air Station, the racing here has been able to continue. Bill Adam is with him.
Captain, what sort of difficulties does presenting a race do to you and all of your job down here? It must be just massive.
Actually, it's an awful lot of fun to be able to help to host this at the it's partly on naval facility here, so that's really a lot of fun. But lately, since September the 11th, we've had some additional security concerns that we've had to work out with the city. The city's been great in doing that, so that's not been a real problem.
Does it almost work as almost like a relief valve for you because you've been on 100% for quite a while now? So maybe this is just a chance for a little relaxation on the weekend.
That's very true. The boat race sponsors have been very good to our people who work on the station, so they get free access to watch the races from the pier over here. So this has been wonderful. It's a great relief for them, but also they get to see that we really are a great country, and they can see the technology. And when you can go out and sponsor and host races like this, and everyday people can get to come see them, makes them feel really proud.
And we're set to go green. The green flag is out, and we're racing once again with Factory 1. Bob Spitolsky, Scott McCormick running in second, Velocity boat.
And this has closed the field right up one more time. So this is almost like a brand new shot at it. Even if you made a mistake on the initial start, now you've got your second chance.
There they are, side by side. Oh, man.
Boy, oh boy, these waves just come out of nowhere. Now, the waves here change so dramatically. They run down the channel into the harbor, fairly smooth water, and then they get out here when they go out onto the ocean. It changes night and day.
Well, that American Racing Custom Wheels boat is a Levy craft. That's the boat from the West Coast, a 29-footer.
Go, 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 go. We got it.
The violence of these impacts.
Activator coming around on the outside of that one. And they've got to start moving, Bill, if they want a shot at this World Championship. There they are back in third, and they got to do much better than that. Now that's the boat in second. Velocity, and just off to the left, here they come.
Well, looks like the battle was going to be resuming one more time. I mean, it's all well and fine to sit and think, well, I'm going to take a first and a second to try and beat these guys, but when pride comes on the line, it is very... Oh, my! Look at how rough this is.
Now, the battle for the World Championship starting to take shape the way we expected it would. These are the two boats that battled side by side 2 weeks ago, and it looks like they're going to do it again for the world title today.
This is just incredible. You can see Activator made a brilliant corner there. They gained a ton of time, and once more, they have resumed this side-by-side racing. This is the kind of racing that movie producers would pay an awful lot of money for. You think it can't possibly get any closer.
And this isn't staged. This is for a world championship. Now remember, the boat on the left, the green and yellow boat, is the national champ. The boat on the right, F111, these two boats have not raced against each other all year long until 2 weeks ago. So they don't know who knows what tricks.
Oh,
now this is third right here.
Just some unbelievable footage. You can see they have fallen off the pace. They've decided to try and save their skins because they're getting beaten up so badly out there. Right now, the American Racing boat is pulling ahead, but it seems that anytime they get into the really rough water, Activator comes back on strong, particularly in the corners. That boat really seems to churn well.
David Ream and Richard Hartman, the American Racing Custom Wheels entry from out in California, really putting on a great run here. But where's the national champs?
Well, now here is something really strange. The wake you're looking at right there in the bottom of the picture, that is Activator. How on earth they got so low around that corner, I don't know.
Bill, they couldn't have been way offline, could they?
Well, you know, I can't believe the American Racing boat could have been that far on the outside. I'm wondering if maybe they missed the marker.
Well, here they come up in front of all the crowd through the harbor, and they're taking advantage of the line, and it gave them a huge lead over Ream and Hartman.
That is almost unexplainable. I don't understand how they were able to get that huge jump all of a sudden, because basically we saw them out in the rough water running side by side, and yes, you gain a little bit in the corner, but nothing like what we're seeing right there.
Well, if you're lazy like Bill and you want to see Key West, jump on board the Conch train. It's a great way to check it out. And check out the APBA at www.apba-offshore.com. Stay with us. We're coming back. One of America's most celebrated literary giants, Ernest Hemingway, called Key West, Florida home. You can visit his house next time you come to Key West, Florida. If you're not cheap like Bill and afraid to pay the $9 to go in.
I saw you there stealing cats, Ralph.
Ralph Shaheen along with Bill Adam, and we have got quite a battle going on here in Factory 1. And Bill, the American Racing Custom Wheels boat, has caught back up to the national champs.
And now it looks like they're doing just the opposite. They have taken that very tight, very neat inside line, and again, look at the amount of ground you pick up. It's huge. They've gained probably 100 feet right there.
Look how Activator cut back across those two wakes. Now here's Dan McNamara and Raul Brock. They're running back in fifth and No Limits, F155.
They have had a great battle today with the 68 boat. Long battle going on here. Again, they're almost playing a bit of a waiting game because these conditions are they're so violent today. There's the 68, you see, just trying to turn up the inside, and that was a pass and whoa, boy.
Well, F168's a 30-foot superboat that ran really well in Cleveland, and one of the reasons why it might be running so well here today is because Edgar Simmons has Jim Arvis helping him out today as they run in fifth right now.
As in so many things, there is no substitute for experience. Oh, no, and No Limits have broken down right we're just talking about them.
F155 is done, but F111, David Ream and Richard Hartman trying to win a world championship. they're going to have to beat the national champs to get it done because Activators charging once again.
There is no backing off on this battle. They are just going tooth and nail at this. This is wonderful fun.
Some of the best racing we've seen all season long, and it comes here at the World Championships. What a great battle in Factory 1 for the world title. And this is what a World Championship should be like.
It is indeed. I mean, this is just perfect. This is the ideal scenario. You've got two boats. They're different boats, but they're so perfectly matched. They're each using their strengths, their weaknesses, and they're able to pass, to repass, gain a little here, lose a little there. It is phenomenal. I think this is really indicative of what the APBA has done this year. This series just continues to get better and better every race.
Bill, the old traditional format had the boats racing miles apart, and now the more fan-friendly APBA has the boats racing feet apart, and it's spectacular.
Well, this is not only good for the fans, it's good for the competitors too, because if you're out there racing all alone, it really isn't much fun. The fun these guys are having during this weekend's racing, it is the best.
Full Tilt Racing running along in third place in their 28-foot Warlock, Chris Pavlis and Michael Myers.
And they are running all alone right there. Now, one of the advantages the two leaders are getting is that they can gauge their own performance by the other boat. Flash Wave coming down. This is fourth place.
Victor Silver, Jim Scherer.
Running strong. You see, once again, down in the harbor here, the water is really pretty flat. So they're experiencing all the conditions today. It's very difficult. I think it's very challenging for these guys to get their boats set up perfectly. You don't get any perfect setup. It's all a compromise today.
And Flash Wave having a pretty good run as we make our way towards the finish and a World Championship. Flash Wave having a pretty good run here. Boat looks pretty solid.
It does. It looks really nice down in this water, so maybe they're losing a little bit out in the rough. But once again, here we are back up in the leader. And how far ahead? That is second place right there. You see a little, again, in fact, a lot of chine walking right there. That is really going just almost side to side.
And they had to back off the throttle a little bit to slow down and get the boat stabilized again. And now we're hearing from the APBA officials that maybe one of these boats, this boat here, might have missed a buoy. Well, if that's the case, Bill, and they didn't go back and make it up, which we know they didn't because they haven't dropped out of this battle for first, that would be a one-lap penalty for every buoy you miss.
Yeah, and that might be what would explain how we saw them suddenly gain that huge jump on the American racing boat, because inexplicably they were just way out ahead and way low on the course, so maybe they did miss that buoy.
Well, when you're in the midst of a battle like that, it's not impossible for you to miss something like a buoy because you're so busy concentrating on the competition.
This just blows me away. Look at them riding along here. He actually had his arm up on the side for a second, thumbs up. Here they are. They're coming down to the finish. Now, they think they have won. We think they probably have won.
Well, unofficially, they will be the ones to the line first to go with their victory back 2 weeks ago. F1-1 Chesapeake Inn Activator unofficially right now would be listed as the APBA UIM World Champions in Factory 1. We'll come back to straighten it all out after these words from the APBA UIM World Championships in Key West. Stay with us. This Speed Vision presentation of the APBA Offshore Baja Pro Series has been brought to you by Baja. Speed changes you. By Lucas Oil Products, the official lubricant of the American Powerboat Association Offshore Pro Series. By Liberty Coach, the official motor coach provider of the APBA Offshore Baja Pro Series. And by Budweiser, Beechwood aged Budweiser with the clean, crisp, refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. Well, we're back to the World Championships here in Key West, Florida. It's been an interesting Factory 1 race. Let's head to Victory Lane. Here's Bill Adams.
This was incredible. It was a three-way battle out there, and it was really tight.
Yeah, the weather changed a little in the middle of the race. It got a little flatter, so we were able to loosen the boat up a little more, keep the thing hammered. We were going around the corners wide open, wide open.
BJ, the battle just kept going on and on. It seemed to stay tight so long. Did you ever start questioning, are you going to be able to beat these guys?
Yeah, definitely. When the race started, they're faster boats. We don't have the fastest boat. It's obvious, they can walk on us. But once we get out in the rough water, we'd make it up out there. Come in with kind of a little battle, and once we got clear water and got ahead of him, it's a lot harder racing when you got slop in front of you and you got to know what he's going to do. And once we got in the front, we took our own lines, took our own turns, and I didn't know. I wasn't like going out there thinking we were going to win today. No, I thought we'd have a good shot, but wasn't confident that we were just going to go down and blow everybody away. No.
Well, here's a look at the official now rundown of the top 5 for Factory 1, and you can see the activator nowhere to be seen. Reason being, APBA officials have docked them 2 laps for missing 2 buoys. That gives a world championship to American Racing Custom Wheels over Flash Wave. An amazing turn of events here in a tremendous Factory 2 battle. Let's head back to Victory Lane with some surprise winners.
Oh, yeah, you can't give it up. You really can't. So that's, and you got to do something for your sponsors, too, like American Racing Custom Wheels and Americash and Federal Express and all those folks. They deserve a win. So that's what we're out here for.
David, what sort of communication was going on while a race is going on?
We're just talking about where everybody else is and where we want to be. We're just trying to get to that pin first and make sure they don't.
Well, we've got plenty more racing coming your way from Key West. Our next APBA telecast is the Super Series show coming up Saturday, January 5th at 10 p.m. Should be awesome, Bill.
These are the real exciting, the big boats. Ultra fast, incredible speed we're going to see here.
And, of course, we'll have our APBA National Championship season recap shows. 2 of them, Factory and Super Series, will be back-to-back on Friday, January 11th, 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. You're going to be a busy guy that day, Bill.
I'm going to be sitting at home watching you, Ralph.
Well, the Key West World Championships have been great. For more, check out www.speedvision.com for more information about the World Championships. Don't forget the Super Series show to go. If you thought the factory classes were exciting, wait till you see the Super Series in action. For Bill Adam, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Key West, Florida. We'll be back with the Super Series show coming your way soon. Stay tuned to Speedvision.